Hey, it's John Nemo. Welcome back to another episode. I want to talk to you today about inbound LinkedIn leads and how to best handle them. I found a really unique strategy for LinkedIn DMs that actually led to a direct done for you client pretty quickly. And I knew I needed to create an episode to share what I discovered, how it worked, and how you can utilize the same thing. And it's basically a very simple strategy called the this or that strategy. Now, the way it works, all of course, is context. So, what we're talking about with LinkedIn lead generation is when someone reaches out to you to connect on LinkedIn. If you're familiar with LinkedIn as a platform, and hopefully you are if you're listening to this podcast, LinkedIn Riches is they can invite you to connect. So when you go into your LinkedIn profile area or your LinkedIn, log on to the platform, you're going to see an area with inbound invites, people wanting to connect with you or people reaching out to connect with you. On the flip side, you can also, make a little variation of this as well, but let's focus right now for the inbound invite. So what happened the other day was somebody invited me to connect. And like a lot of LinkedIn invitations, it just came in as a blank invite. There wasn't any context for how the person found me or why they wanted to connect or what they were looking for help with, or, if they just wanted to connect because they wanted to sell me something, right? So there's all these different scenarios. And that's the challenge when you're looking at, oh, should I accept this invite from a person wanting to connect on LinkedIn or not? And so what I've developed is kind of this or that strategy. And I picked this up from my business coach or from other people that use this on other platforms in the DMs, right? In the one-on-one messaging features of Instagram or Facebook or whatever. And so the way that it works on LinkedIn is when this person reached out to connect with me, because they looked like a decent lead on paper, meaning they were a small business owner and like, okay, there's not an obvious red flag here of they couldn't potentially become a client or referral source. And B, it doesn't look like an obvious thing where they're going to try to sell me something based on their profile. I accepted it. And then I wrote a very short LinkedIn message. And again, this has changed over time. It used to be, hey, thanks so much for connecting. How did you find me? And, kind of like 20 questions. And that used to work. People would say, oh, I found you because I read your book and blah, 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 and this and that. And what I found is over time now, because of the volume and the amount of noise in the LinkedIn inbox, in the LinkedIn DMs, people are responding less and less if you have a long message. So shorter is better. One sentence is ideal to start conversations just to get the engagement going. So I accepted the invite and then I immediately sent a message. I didn't do the normal formalities of, oh, nice to connect. Thank you for inviting me. Just cut to the chase. I basically said, hi, Mike, were you wanting to connect for my best free LinkedIn tips, or are you interested in done for you level help? It's like, whoa, like you might be thinking that's really direct. That's crazy, right? And within 5 minutes, the person wrote back and said, I'm interested in done for you help. It's like, woohoo, right? So again, it's a this or that. Give people an easy answer. Did you want to connect for this or for that? Is the reason you're reaching out this or is it that? That's the idea behind this is two choices. Were you wanting to connect because you want my best free tips or you want to explore done for you services? Again, that's my mentality with LinkedIn and the service I provide, done for you LinkedIn lead generation is I've got two different avenues I can go with people. One is, listen, I've got I'm holding up one of my books here, The Ultimate LinkedIn Profile. I've got LinkedIn Riches. I've got more free content, than almost anyone I know in terms of being able to give you lots of free tips and templates and strategies. And the whole idea behind that, of course, is I want to demonstrate expertise. I want to let my content, my free tips in particular, let that content be the currency that helps buy the time and interest and attention of prospects online. I want them to know I'm the real deal. I'll give away my best stuff for free. You can see firsthand how I demonstrate authority, demonstrate expertise, demonstrate insights so that you can read it, consume it, and go, wow, yeah, that stuff's really good. I love it. I can either implement it myself and now become kind of a referral source for John and Nemo Media Group because I'm going to implement the tips and get good results. And then I'm going to brag about it and tell people about it and naturally point back to where I learned it. And there's always going to be a huge percentage of people that are like, hey, your tips are great. I love your frameworks. I love your strategies. It really resonates. I don't want to do the work myself. Can you just do it for me? That's always going to be something where, or I don't want to be the expert. I don't want to learn LinkedIn, but what you said really resonates. Or my friend used it. They said they got great results. I'm just going to hire somebody to do it. Can you just do it for me? Right. So that's why I love using free content. And so when I say, are you looking for this, the free content? If they say that, this or that, sorry, no pun intended, but if they say, yeah, I want the free content, I know they're not ready to buy right now. So I'm not immediately going to try to offer a call and let's get together and let's talk. I'm going to say, great. I'm going to send you a free copy of my book, LinkedIn Riches. You can download a free copy, the audiobook, the Kindle version, or the PDF. That has all my best free tips, strategies, frameworks, insights, ideas, scripts, you name it. Knock yourself out. And what I'll do is I'll opt them in with the email that I find associated with their LinkedIn account to that funnel, right? So it'll deliver the free book and it'll deliver follow-up tips and training videos and all kinds of things so that the person can get warmed up, get into my, kind of online world through free tips and content where they get to know, like, and trust me. Because again, as I've talked about in previous episodes, you want to put personality in your content. You want to share, 50% of the content is you, your story, your journey, your personality. The other 50% is demonstrating expertise, demonstrating tips, showing authority, frameworks, etc. And that is more important now than ever because with AI, anyone can create generic kind of tip content. And now it really becomes commoditized, where you really want to not forget that other 50% is putting your unique personality, your story, your journey, authentic photos of yourself, video, whatever, because then people have something to connect to. AI can't replicate you, right? Your unique memory, story, journey, communication style, all that. So what you do is you basically say, hey, were you wanting to connect with me for this or for that? That's the simple thing of it. So depending on what your product or service is, in my mind, it's, are you wanting to connect for the free stuff, or are you wanting to cut right to the front of the line and talk about the done for you paid service? So that's a great way to quickly qualify prospects and kind of put a fork in the road so they, again, can self-select. Now, in the case of Mike, this prospect who said, yeah, I'm interested in the done for you, I want to see if it'll work for my company. Great. I could immediately move him into that process and that sales funnel, as opposed to one size fits all. Mike, nice to connect. I'd like you to start here and do this and go through. Like, no. He's like, I'm, wherever he came in, however he qualified himself, whatever it is, he's like, I'm a potential buyer. Put me in that category, that camp. Whereas if somebody else said, yeah, I'm here for the free tips, then I would start them there and let them work through that funnel, get warmed up, get engaged. So it's a really good way to do it with inbound invites. I've experimented a little bit with outbound. It's a little different because if you think about the context of it, if I go out and invite you to connect on LinkedIn and you accept my invitation, I can't really just immediately go, hey, what do you want from me, right? Because I'm the one that connected with you. So it has to be nuanced a little bit. So I'm testing it a little bit, but I mean, some of it could be, hey, again, you want to cut out all the formalities of thanks for connecting. It could be nice to connect Joe, or not even that. John, what would be more helpful for you? My free tips, or are you looking for done for you help? Like, I don't know if I want to go that route yet. I'm just thinking out loud here, brainstorming. That's with outbound. But with inbound, it's very easy to me because, again, they're reaching out to me. They're wanting to connect with me. If there's no context for it, if they don't include a note of why they want to connect, that's where I want to say, do you want this or do you want that? Rather than doing all the formalities, 20 questions, asking a bunch of things, people just aren't going to respond. It's just too much work for them. And again, the beauty of it is you can then know where to focus your time and energy. And if you've set up these kind of prearranged things for the free tip funnel or the done for you level, kind of approach, you can move people much more quickly through your services and through your kind of buyer's journey. So that's just a great tip. I just found that so helpful. I wish I would have thought of it. I didn't, but I finally picked it up. Just, I've even attempted to sprinkle in a third thing, although 3 options is too much. I've tried, and again, test and tweak and adjust as you like. But one of the things I've done is I've said, when someone invites me to connect and I accept it, I say, Joe, were you looking to connect for my free tips, my done for you services, or are you just here to make friends and network? because again, that's something my business coach uses a lot on Instagram, which is, hey, did you follow me because you're looking for marketing tips, or are you just looking to make friends? And because he'll then quickly separate who's a business lead versus who just wants to kind of be social media buddies. And he's obviously not going to spend all his time and energy then trying to sell that person something or put them through a funnel if they're like, no, I'm just a fan or a friend or not looking for anything other than to make friends. And again, it's a friendly, approachable thing to say. And I have been testing that, and I have been getting some people saying, yeah, I'm just here to network. I'm just here to hang out and connect with people. And it's like, oh, okay, well, fine, but I don't have to now invest any brain power or time trying to, deliver content and things like that. So I'm still testing it. I think for you, the key is do the this or that. Fewer choices is always better. So try to keep it to 2 if you can. So maybe it's, say you're a business coach, maybe, and someone sends an inbound invite to you. You could say, John, were you wanting to connect for coaching help, or are you just here to make friends and network? Right? Because if John says, yeah, I'm here, I'm looking for coaching help, then you could expand and say, oh, okay, well, you're looking for free tips, or you're looking more to hire a coach right away. Like, you could do a little more kind of investigative questioning there. So I might even try that too. I might even say, if somebody does, and listen, it's great. I get to work out my strategies while you're listening and watching, but I might even say something like, Sal, were you wanting to connect for LinkedIn lead generation tips, or are you just looking to network and make friends? And if they say LinkedIn tips, then maybe I would have a second stage where I say, great, are you just looking for free advice, or do you want done for you level service? I think for now, what's been working better is, Sal, were you wanting to connect for the free tips, or are you more interested in done for you level service? Because again, it's a little less friendly, a little more kind of cut to the chase, but it also moves people quickly. Because then if someone says, yeah, I want done for you level, or I just want free tips, I can kind of move them along my funnels rather than, having too many choices. I think that's a key thing to think about in marketing anytime, is too many choices can overwhelm. People won't choose anything. So with all that said, experiment with this. Try the this or that with your LinkedIn DMs, especially when people come to you. Give them, hey, you're looking for this, you're looking for that, and see how it works. I have definitely found it working well. I mean, it's already turned into a 5-figure client just from putting that simple thing into one, LinkedIn reply. So obviously I'm going to keep scaling that up and looking at the data. So with all that said, thanks for watching. We'll see you soon on another episode.